We're being siloed into a bubble. Our likes empower the algorithm. It feeds us what we want to keep us engaged. It wants to sell our attention. We slip deeper into a constraining narrative. But we must break free. We must burst the bubble. Truths will be learned. Cognitive dissonance will make our hearts and heads ache. Different perspectives will bring us wisdom. Some truths will be hilarious, others painful. But we must be free. We must break into the DisAlgorithm.
Hello, and welcome to the DisAlgorithm. Today we're going to go through my feed. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't seem like very much, but we'll go through my X feed and see what's happening, and then we'll go over to the DisAlgorithm. We'll pop the bubble, and we'll check out what the other side is saying. All right. So let's see what this is. This is from Luke Rudkowski.
One's ever going to find this place.
What?
Me, as the director of the FBI, the former Russiagate guy, when I first got to the Bureau, found a room that Comey and others hid from the world in the Hoover building, full of documents and computer hard drives that no one had ever seen or heard of. Locked the key and hid access and just said, no one's ever going to find this place.
What?
Yeah.
When was this?
So my guys are going through that right now.
What's in there?
A lot of stuff. I mean, that's the thing. People are like, well, okay, go arrest him. And I'm like, okay, well, how about you let me run a methodical investigation? Me, as the director of the FBI, the former Russiagate guy.
This is a little while
when
ago.
I first got to the Bureau, found a room that Comey and others
said this June 6th. Is this the same story being rehashed today?
in the Hoover building.
Maybe. I don't know what story is being hashed today. I can't tell you if it's being rehashed. Yeah, but I'm sure there's a bunch of rooms where they've hid a bunch of stuff, a bunch of files, and this kind of stuff is just going to pop up all the time. Like, all throughout the 4 years that Trump is in, it's going to keep on popping up. We're going to hear this story a lot, and you know what? It's not going to matter until people start getting arrested. And this is from Rob Schneider.
Sex abuse information. The Massey and the Kana discharge petition does not have adequate protections. For example, in the way that it was drafted, they cite that they don't want child abuse, sex abuse information uncovered, but they cite the wrong provision of the federal code, and so it makes it unworkable. It requires the DOJ to release grand jury testimony. They are prohibited by law from doing so. So it is not the right approach. There is another approach out there. The House Republicans on the Rules Committee have a resolution that is well drafted, that is thoughtfully drafted by lawyers that would make this workable. That's the approach. We have to protect the innocent. We'll do it at all costs.
They do say that they want victims' names redacted, though, just to be clear. Let me move on to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes, but their language doesn't adequately produce that. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rob Schneider, he was great in Happy Gilmore 2. If you haven't seen that, check that out. It's hilarious. He just said you can do it, which is amazing. That's all I want from him. I'm afraid to say it, but Speaker Johnson is an obstructionist, yeah, and deep state asset. Yes, we all knew who he was going to be. Lower Loomer is replying to this. It says, once again, Loomer doesn't have the faintest idea what she's talking about. It just seems like Loomer drama here. Is it true that you're trying to continue your grift? Yeah, this is this drama. Does this matter? U.S. Congressman and Loomer. Yeah. This reply stuff is annoying. Not annoying, but I just don't care about it. Senate confirms Emil Bove to serve a U.S. appeals court judge. As a U.S. appeals court judge. Okay. I haven't been paying attention to that.
So I had to get on. What can I say? The genes are great. The genes are great. Now the left is completely melting down over this. So I had to get on Olivia Krolchuk to talk about this. Olivia, we just played some of the ads there. They're obviously funny. It's a pun. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, etc. But the left is losing their minds, and in fact, they're calling this Nazi propaganda. And I'm just going to step back and say that imagine the billions of dollars and years upon years of conditioning and programming that it took to overcome, to go from, those Calvin Klein ads from a couple of years ago where they had gigantic Swahili warriors and, bikinis on the cover of Sports Illustrated from Somalian migrants, to just going back to having Sydney Sweeney in a pair of jeans. Amazing. Oh, gosh, they're showing it. Oh, sorry. Olivia Krolchuk, why is the left losing their minds over this?
God forbid we have someone that's not overweight, fat, ugly, or a minority doing an advertisement for a company. Of course, they're going crazy because someone that's not ugly is on screen. God forbid a company is smart and actually uses an attractive woman who can sell jeans to women and men for that matter. Of course, the left is mad about it because we're not promoting something that's DEI.
Well, and it's amazing.
That's why it's Nazi.
If people want to sit there and say, oh my gosh, this is right-wing coded. And here's what's interesting, right? That it actually proves what I've been saying for a full year. It's July, right? So a year and a month at this point now. I wrote a whole book about this, saying that all.
So this could be a whole ad campaign where they have, different people of different races saying that they have great genes. But they're losing their mind because it's a white girl saying it. This is dumb. I don't care about the ad. I don't care about any of this. It's so dumb. Everything's Nazi. Nothing is Nazi. You know what? And they don't really care. They want river to the sea. So who's the Nazis?
I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour Refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened.
With all these
this tan?
Dumb ads.
Genetics. I just got my color.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you put white people, black people, gay people, straight people, whoever in your ad. I don't want to see it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see your dumb ad. Oh, we're winning. We're winning because we got a white person in an ad. Who cares?
Weapons, rated R, August 8th. Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them.
Ooh, spooky. This is all dumb. There's nothing going on today. I heard Trump was getting a little wild on truth. August 1st, a great day for America. What happens August 1st? August 1st deadline. This dethrone the kings, no king. How long has the reign in government been? Chuck Grassley, 50 plus years. Joe Biden, 48 plus years. Chuck Schumer, 44 plus years. Mitch McConnell, 40 plus years. Nancy Pelosi, 38 plus years. Bernie Sanders, 34 plus years, etc. Trump, 4 years, 5 months. But Trump is the king. It's 6 months now, isn't it? Pretty sure. It is. December 20th. No. Yeah, it's over 6 months. Yeah. Go back to what truth in here. Alright, yeah. It just looks like the same old boring stuff. This is all boring. Refresh it. Act to ban congressional stock trading has just passed out of committee. Hey. What? I don't get it. Oh. Field figure. Yeah. President Trump calls for Nancy Pelosi to be investigated for insider trading. Yeah. I play a lot of VR, and the Meta Horizons, which is the metaverse or whatever. It sucks. I don't ever go there. It's dumb. I hate all the meta avatars. They all look like they're retarded. I hate them all. I don't ever. I mean, Meta is a good company, and the headsets are really nice and everything. And they put out some great games. But the metaverse stuff is just lame. It's just stupid. It's nothing like they advertised when they first announced it. And they haven't done hardly anything to improve it. In fact, they made the avatars look worse from what they were at the beginning. This is dumb. I don't see anything interesting about it. What's this? Signed, sealed, and delivered. POTUS signed the VA Home Loan Program Reform Act into the law. The law will change VA home loan program to provide vets with a partial claims option to save their home from foreclosure, modernize the overhaul VA home loan program, provide needed relief to vet homeowners in financial hardships and those impacted by natural disasters. Cool. Hopefully that helps. veterans.
President has ever been to the world, but particularly today, and particularly what we were talking about last week, this was the Fed, this was going over to the Federal Reserve itself. It's only the third time in the history of this country that a sitting president has ever been to the Federal Reserve. It said FDR was one at the Eccles building was inaugurated, opened up. He went to magnificent space, classic space, Beaux Arts. And then I think Jerry Ford had a buddy that was a governor. He went over for lunch or something, but President Trump went over, and that was an inspection tour. It was quite extraordinary. What you're going to see next, and this gets to the issue that we have before us today. HBO, the John Adams film, I think it was 10 hours or something, had an Englishman, Steve Delane, that played Jefferson. And really, I think he steals the movie, but this is the very first cabinet meeting, and you've got with General Washington, and interesting, John Adams is his VP, and John Adams didn't sit in the cabinet meeting. There was many reasons for that. Number one, they didn't really know what a vice president was. Number two, President Washington wasn't that close to John Adams, and John Adams is a little bit of an instigator. Here he tries to be a peacemaker, and he knew he had enough to handle because he had selected both Hamilton to be his Minister of Finance or Secretary of the Treasury, and Jefferson to be Secretary of State. Jefferson had been in revolutionary France and had just come back for the first cabinet meeting, and they went at it right off the bat. And what is this about? This is about this central tension that's still in the country today between being a and Hamilton. These guys saw the fact that the United States could be a continental empire and a massive manufacturing superpower. Remember, this is in 1792. This is the 18th century. This is the genius of Hamilton and his vision looking downrange. This is why, if you read the report on manufacturers, I say it's right up there with the Declaration of Independence as a sophisticated look of how you develop a nation. Jefferson's was about the freedom of man and liberty, and really a declaration of war, most of a declaration of war against the British Crown. The reports on manufacture came out later was about how you actually take a country that's really just agriculture and some trading in some ports and turn it into an industrial superpower. That's the vision Alexander Hamilton had, and the practicality to put it through. But they were at each other's throats, and what did it get about? It got about debt, deficits, currency. You remember these topics from today? It's from the beginning of the country, and you see the two sides of how they played it out.
That's interesting. I need to go back and watch that HBO movie. It was really good. I don't remember it as well. You go back and watch that. My mom always told us that we're related to the Adams presidents, John Adams and John Quincy Adams. But we've actually looked in a lot of our ancestry. We haven't found that connection yet. Still might be true. So Kamala Harris is not going to run as governor. Probably smart. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yes. Me. I don't know. That bullet hole? Yeah, I'm a citizen because I got a bullet hole. Or what is this?
The In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged.
Good.
In support of our goals, today the Federal Open...
All right. We're going to pop the bubble. We're going to head over to the DisAlgorithm, see what the other side is saying. See, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris has courageously served our state and country for her entire career. Whether it be a prosecutor, attorney general, senator, or vice president, she has always kept a simple pledge at her heart of every decision she's made for the people. Oh yeah. Grateful for her service and friendship, and looking forward to continuing the fight in whatever future it might hold for her. How dumb. Huh? Another banger from Adam Kingsinger. Repost that one. That's great. So intelligent. Why is it acceptable for the president to use taxpayer money to fly overseas and cut a ribbon at his own golf course? Don't normalize this abuse of office. It's blatant corruption. Well, he's the president. He gets to go where he wants. If it happens to be his golf course, tough cookie. Why did white people in rural America vote to defund their own services? Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, brother. Yeah. Pretty retarded. I'll like that one. Dropkick Murphys just played the stunning montage of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein at their concert. Retweet to make sure every American sees this. Can't play the music. So stunning and brave. Trump just said that Virginia Giuffre was one of the staff members Epstein stole from him. Giuffre worked at Mar-a-Lago in 2000 until Trump says Epstein stole her, which he claims that led to kick Epstein out of his club and end their friendship. Problem is, 2 years later, Trump was still friends with Epstein, even going so far as to call him a terrific guy with admirable taste in women. The math ain't mathin'. Keep talking, Donnie, keep talking. So dumb. You got any proof, prove it. He hung around with the guy, and then he stopped. Plenty of proof of that. So keep on showing the proof that he hung around with him, and then that's it. Huh? If Gavin Newsom runs in 2028 for president, would you vote for him? Yes or no? Dude, I hope he does. I mean, he's done such a bang-up job with California.
defenders from both parties come forward. In New Jersey, this is someone who has had something I've never seen before: hundreds of judges, hundreds of federal prosecutors and federal public defenders from both parties come forward saying that Emil Bovee should not be on the Third Circuit as a judge for a lifetime position. That his temperament, using vulgarities to show that folks should disobey, the Trump administration should disobey court orders, is disqualifying him from being on the bench. That would have been one thing that bothered me, but the other thing is the fact that he has had some of the worst ethics violations of any judge I've seen come before the Judiciary Committee, holding back exculpatory evidence when he was a prosecutor. He was called by former prosecutors and former defense attorneys as
like Kamala
the
Harris.
drunk driving version of a prosecutor, reckless and dangerous. And then finally, what was the ultimate frustration was we saw a whistleblower came forward who impinged his testimony with receipts, but there were other whistleblowers trying to come forward, afraid for themselves because of this climate in which people who stand up and speak the truth are often targeted and attacked, and their lawyers were trying to get somebody in the Republican Party just to listen to the evidence, and no one wanted to even listen. This is a sad day for our democracy. This is a sad day for the judiciary, and a sad day for the United States Senate, whose constitutional obligation is to advise and consent, to look at all of the evidence, especially when you have whistleblowers standing up with courage and wanting to speak the truth, not even to listen to it. We saw those tactics in the Judiciary Committee, not wanting to have debate, not wanting to have discussion, rushing this nominee through as quickly as possible to this floor for a vote before any more evidence could come out, before another 200, 300, 400 judges or prosecutors can come out with damning indictments of this man's qualifications. This is a very unfortunate day for the United States Senate, a very unfortunate day.
Oh my God. Well, if they don't like him that much, he must be pretty good. Do you think it's true that Trump lies 76% of the time? He's a politician, right? Politicians usually 100%. James Harris.
Board members is the nastiest political attack we've seen on an Oklahoma official. These are lies by board members, by a corrupt news media, and perpetuated by the teachers union to try to stop the will of Oklahoma voters and the Oklahoma parents. What we are going to continue to do is move this education reform for the families of Oklahoma. I will not stop. I will not back down to these lies by board members and others. These board members should resign immediately in disgrace over the lies that they have pushed about me to try to destroy my character. My family's had to read these headlines that are simply not true. This is why people don't trust the news media. So many lies that they have run that are factually false and provably false is the
Oklahoma Schools Chief Ryan Walters issues a statement tonight where he claims that the board members who said they observed porn playing on his screen during a meeting are lying and they should resign in disgrace. So with great sadness, we share that Ryan Sandberg has passed away today. Hall of Famer and Cubs stalwart. Ryan Sandberg wasn't a great baseball player. He was a class act who never cheated the game. Everyone in Chicago, including White Sox fans, will miss him deep. I have no idea about baseball at all. How many times have I clicked to follow this guy? He's just got an American flag in his bio now as his profile pic. Bernie.
People who can't afford healthcare.
Bernie's got something to say,
maybe
you guys.
The most difficult thing that politicians have got to do is have the courage to assess and discuss the enormous crises facing our country in so many respects.
Let me guess, billionaires?
And I think we lose credibility with the American people when we don't acknowledge whether it's the economic struggle or the fear of violence or the reality there are tens of millions of people who can't afford health care. You got to talk about the reality.
When I started, you'd have, mom, dad, 2 kids maybe living in a 3-bedroom apartment, okay? What we're increasingly seeing is we'll have, mom, dad, and 2 kids living in one room in a 3-bedroom apartment. And each other room has got maybe mom, dad, and 2 kids. So now you have 12 people in one apartment sharing a kitchen and a bathroom. How do you find the peace and quiet to do your homework? How do you find the time to have dinner together? Where do you do it? These are real challenges we're facing outside of the school that are directly impacting our kids today.
The overall line you hear in D.C. is, well, hey, these are tough times. We got to do some austerity. We got to cut back here. Can't afford health care. Can't afford decent wages. That is a lie. That is a fundamental lie. Nobody in America should be having to live under the conditions that Corey just described. Why are we not building the millions of low-income and affordable housing units that we need, putting workers to work, building those units in good union jobs?
I don't know, Bernie.
Maybe the most difficult thing that
the building, Bernie. Can we all agree if Trump's in the Epstein Files and is proven? Yeah, it's just proven, right? Now it's proven, right? He should immediately be removed from office and incarcerated. Yeah. Is this something everyone can agree on? Yes. I'm going to post this every day so nobody forgets exactly who Trump is and why Epstein Files have suddenly disappeared. Katie Vance says he never liked Trump because he never tells the truth and doesn't care about folks.
Leave that woman on that tape.
No, I cannot.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. It makes you think that at a fundamental level, this is sort of a he said, she said, right?
He did say
at
that.
the end of the day, do you believe Donald Trump, who always tells the truth? Just kidding. Or do you believe that woman on that tape?
No, I cannot stand Trump because I think he's a fraud. Well, I think he's a total fraud that is exploiting these people, who is a total fraud.
Like you said, I agree with you on Trump because I don't think that he's the person. I don't think he actually cares about folks.
There is definitely an element of Donald Trump support that has its basis in racism or xenophobia. I think there's a chance, if I feel like Trump has a really good chance of winning, that I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. I think that
I'm
going to vote third party because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place. I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. It makes you think that at a fundamental level, this is sort of a he said, she said.
We all got our problems with Trump. At least he came around, right? Let's see. Joe Rogan accuses Trump of gaslighting the American people over the Epstein Files. He definitely did. Rogan played a critical role in getting Trump elected. We can't underscore how big it is for him to turn on Trump.
Yeah, that's just gonna hang around.
This is a line in the sand.
Yeah.
This one's
Yeah.
a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Because this is one where there's a lot of stuff about,
We better see some good stuff
we
coming
thought
out.
Trump was going to come in and a lot of things are going to be resolved.
Yeah.
We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to figure everything out. And when you have this one hardcore line in the sand that everybody had been talking about forever, and then they're trying to gaslight you on that.
Well, you would have thought that
Is that your phone?
Yeah, that's just gonna.
Yeah, we can all agree on that. Like, this whole Epstein thing is it just sucks. So I think that's what unites left and right. The left thinks he's totally guilty of, participating in proclivities of Epstein. And, the right just wants to know. Just wants to know what happened and is tired of being gaslighted or litten. And, yeah, we can all agree on that. We want to see the swamp drained. This is the swamp. This is what we're all sick of. It's not just Democrats. It's not just Republicans. We're sick of the blackmail, disgusting swamp. All the corruption, all the wasted money, all the disgusting behind the scenes deals, blackmail, evil that goes on in this country. We want it to stop. If he doesn't do it, well, then we're going to see a huge political realignment coming in 2028, and probably not going to be good. So they need to get their heads out of their butt and start figuring this out. People are losing hope. And yeah, we all agree, if good stuff doesn't start happening, that it's done for Republicans, it's done for MAGA. And then who's going to fill that void? Not going to be anything good. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching today, and I'll get on here as soon as possible. And I'll see you later. Bye.
The DisAlgorithm.